Hey church, Pastor Steve here. I haven't done a video thing for a while, so I thought I might just fix that and just let you know some of the issues that we've been working on, and I guess bring you up to date with some of the discussions we've had around the question of vaccination, well, what that means for the future of church, at least right now. The short answer is that in the short term, nothing is going to change, at least for the next month, as far as we can tell. We're going to continue to live stream church services here every Sunday, and you're welcome to watch on Facebook or YouTube. And I want to encourage you, leave a comment and stay engaged. We also are allowed to have people in our homes again. So I want to ask you to invite somebody over and do church together. Sit down and talk about the sermon. Sit down and talk about your life. Share a meal together. Invite somebody over, or you go to somebody else's place and do that at this time. Even though we can't be at the church together, you can still be the church and do it together. So I want to encourage you to do that. There's a lot of small groups going on, and I just want to encourage you again to get involved in one of those in some way, shape or form. They can be back in houses as well too, I think, in some cases. Youth is back at the moment in a limited capacity. Playgroup will be back in the next couple of weeks. So there are some things, I guess, starting to happen, which is really good. And I just want to encourage you to stay connected and to keep on working during this season. Don't do this season alone. In relation to the question about vaccination and all that stuff, I just want to let you know that this whole issue for me is really contentious, and it's not one that I ever expected at the start of the year to even be thinking about or to have to address. So for me, I'm happy to put on the record I'm vaccinated. That was my choice. I know many of you are. And I'm also, I guess, a little bit sad that it's come to a mandate for it to happen. We all come from different backgrounds and different experiences, and we see life differently. That's just what we do. And the human tendency, I guess, is to divide over those sort of things, and especially when they hit close to home, especially when they affect our livelihoods and all that sort of thing. But that's not what we're called to do as Christians. You see, we have a far more important biblical mandate from God, and that is to glorify and emulate Jesus in all we do. And it's not about us asserting our rights. It's not about us saying, I'm going to put my interests above everybody else. When the central figure of our faith, Jesus, went to the cross, he put his needs to the side, and he acted out of love and selflessness, and he acted in a way that put the needs of other people ahead of his own. And that is the standard that we are called to do as well. We're called to love people regardless of their status. We're called to put the needs of others ahead of ourselves. We're also called to be people who protect and serve the people around us who are at risk and are vulnerable. So our church has to be a safe place. The Bible instructs us to honour and respect our government. And the roadmap that's been put out, even though it's not perfect, is not singling out churches for unfair treatment. We are just another community organisation are being asked to do things in the middle of a pandemic. And in accordance, I guess, with the advice that we've got from our denomination and from others, we are prepared in the future, if we need to be, to do services for people who are vaccinated as a temporary measure. And I say that knowing that it's not ideal, and it's also something that I really don't want to do. It's also something that I hope doesn't happen. But the problem is we just don't have enough information right now to know what that looks like and what's involved. And there's so many moving parts with things like youth and kids and everything else. I just want to let you know that if we have to go down that road, I will let you know. And there will still be opportunities for people who choose not to be vaccinated for whatever reason to watch online. You can still join a small group. You can still be involved in other events here at the church. And we're not going to rush into making that decision. I'm not going to rush in and just say, this is what we're going to do, and there's no more discussion. I don't want to do all that just to rush back here to have 70 or 80 people at church again. I'd rather wait until the day we can all actually be together again. But the problem is we just don't know what that's going to look like right now or how long it's going to last for. And I share all of that simply just to communicate to you that if these plans are likely to actually impact you or your family, I want to invite you to come talk to me. I want to invite you to come talk to Pastor Ange or to one of the other people on our board. I'm really interested to know if in this season right now that you and your family are affected by something that's going on, and how we can help and how we can pray for you and how can we encourage you. There's always a risk when all this stuff's going on around us that we lose sight of the real mission that God's given us. And that mission is far more important than our temporary vaccination status. That the mission is, in the unity of the Spirit, to go and reconcile people into relationship with Jesus. And we do that together. We do that in November. We're going to be talking about mission. We're going to be talking about how mission is all important. Mission here, mission locally, mission around the world. We're going to be talking about how we do it, how we support it. And I want to encourage you to join us for that month. At one of our prayer meetings a little while ago, somebody from our church said something really remarkable that I wanted to share with you. He prayed that after this period was over, that our church would be even better connected than it ever was before. That we'd actually be better unified than ever before. We prayed that as a church we'd be more growing in maturity and even growing in numbers, even though we can't see right now what God is doing out of this season. This period brings a lot of challenges, yeah, absolutely, but it also brings opportunities for us to embrace. And I want to encourage you to consider what those opportunities are and to be involved in them. Can I encourage you, please, and your families to continue to meet together in your homes, in the church, in your small groups, and as you're able to, stay connected. Make a comment on a service on Facebook or YouTube as you watch and as you pray. Keep on praying for your government. Keep on praying for your leaders. Keep on praying for your church. Keep on praying for the people around you. And pray that this whole vaccination question ultimately becomes a storm in a teacup and it never becomes an issue at all. That's the power of prayer. And pray that when we come back together, that it's even better than we remember. That day will come. We just don't know when it's going to be. And all I can ask you right now is to keep going, keep praying, and God bless you all. We look forward to being able to be together again really, really soon. But right now, worry about the people around you. Worry about the people in your church you haven't seen for a while and reach out to them. We look forward to seeing you soon.